Let's talk about one of the most underrated Hero Factory sets of all time. Who is that, you ask? Well, it's WASPIX. I don't know why you're asking that, it was in the thumbnail, you knew coming into the video. Now I think this set has incredible pieces, and all of them are super helpful if you want to use them in your own LEGO creations. So let's see how people have done that. And this is a character that I think is really easy to revamp. So let's see how other people have done exactly that. Let's dive in and let's start discussing why this set is awesome. There is simply not enough appreciation for this set. It's a brilliant four-armed menace with a sick wasp aesthetic. Heck yeah. All the different ways that CCBS armor and bone pieces have been used, oh, it's brilliant. Like using this piece here, placing it on the back of this torso piece, and then you can branch off another set of arms and boom, suddenly your MOC's got 4 arms. So simple, but so very effective. I love that with the inclusion of just one piece, suddenly any MOC can have 4 arms. See, that's the beautiful thing about the character and creature building system, CCBS. It's just so easy to customize your characters. One piece can take you in an entirely different direction. I love that. Also, this leg design is great. The digitigrade leg design here really does make this character look incredible. And again, it's so simple. Simply placing 3 CCBS bone pieces and then bending it. But it just completes the look. Beauty in simplicity. That is certainly something that this MOC does very well. There's not really any kind of crazy techniques or complex designs. It makes do with pretty common pieces and produces something awesome. The designers did such a good job when they were making WASPIX. Oh, and let's not forget, the set has incredible pieces as well. Let's take a closer look and see what we got in this set, and how we could use them in our own creations. WASPIX's wings use these trans-yellow CCBS armor shells. Now these armor pieces, they come in size 8. Now this is the largest size that any CCBS armor piece can come in. And actually only 3 sets come with a size 8 armor piece. You can see the 3 of them here on Bricklink. And in each set they come in a different color. So it's not exactly a common piece. But if we want to use this in a MOC, well, do what Mr. Dirtface did here on their MOC called Starfinder. They've used it for a pretty cool cockpit windscreen. And it's even in the beautiful colors of classic space. Yeah, this really feels like the perfect way to use this piece. I do like seeing a good Bionicle spaceship. How wonderful. WASPIX also comes with 8 of these CCBS bone pieces, and plenty of other bone pieces as well. Now the Maestro has a MOC here that almost exclusively uses these bone pieces, obviously in different sizes and shapes. And you know, I love this. This very minimalist and simplistic design, it's kind of beautiful. It's amazing how you can still make a really incredible character when you're really just only using one type of piece. And thankfully you get so many of these types of pieces in this set. So it'd be pretty easy to do something similar if that's what you wanted to do. WASPIX also has this exclusive printed CCBS armor shell, and you get 3 of them in this set. And it does have a lovely wasp design to it, doesn't it? But what if you want to use it outside of the context of a bee? Well, Dylan Meaves uses one of these pieces here on this MOC that's called Delano Spark. And look at that, even something as simple as placing it on the upper arm, well, it looks lovely. It's a nice way to add in a little bit more detail to a pretty standard Hero Factory build. A standard build, but it still looks awesome. Great work. Frenez J also uses this piece on their Self MOC, which is also called Frenez J. The way that the colors have been placed on this MOC, it always seems to have very subtle splashes of yellow mixed in with this large amount of black. It's a great look. Very subdued amounts of a secondary color like this, it can look awesome. So yeah, putting this piece on the torso, that was a great way to add just a little bit more yellow on that specific area. Great use of that piece, and a great way to tie it into the rest of the color scheme. There's also 3 of these blade pieces. One's being used on WASPIX's tail, the others are being used as 2 kind of stinger weapons on the upper arms. Lois Nuva uses one of these blade pieces on the tip of this long silver weapon. You know, given that this MOC has this thin, skinny aesthetic, it kind of just makes sense that the weapon would also share that exact same look. Something like this fits right at home. It's a great way of using this piece. Otherwise, you could do what Kaylee Rainbow Recluse has done here and place them on the sides of the arm of your next MOC. I mean, look, if WASPIX can pull off some sick arm blades, then your creation can too. It's just a good look. This set also graces us with 6 of these yellow CCBS shells, and these ones come in size 4. DopMox uses these on this Asian dragon MOC, and the way that they've been placed to kind of look like dragon scales, it's really dope. And the brilliant curvature that these pieces create as well, really does look like it's flowing through the air. So majestic. Now using lots of this piece is great, but even if you just use 1 or 2, you can still drastically improve your MOC. We have a creation here called Wideman that was built by both Oblivi MOCs and Genko builds. So we got a lovely dark bluish grey and dark blue colour scheme. But don't these little tiny hints of yellow just perfectly enhance this colour scheme? I think it's gorgeous. So you could also do something like that with these pieces. And then finally, WASPIX comes with their cool, unique face piece. So this also comes in lime in another Hero Factory set that's called Scorpio. And we can see this lime piece being used on this locust mock that Joxon has built. Yeah, this mask works really well when you're trying to build some type of bug or insect. And if you do like Joxon and you surround this piece with other pieces, well, it looks even better. So whether you have a lime one or a yellow one, you can do some pretty awesome stuff with this. And then Dylan Meaves here, he uses the yellow one on their revamp of Meltdown. See how behind their head here, they've tucked away this yellow WASPIX mask. I love that it suddenly gives him some kind of horns. It's just a really nice way to enhance his head that little bit more. Well, I say that, but also this helmet that's in front of this mask, that's also enhancing things quite well. This is just a good version of Meltdown. Okay, so that's some ways that you could use the pieces that come in WASPIX. But let's take a look at how some people have reimagined and revamped this character. Suzgeti Mate has made a revamp of WASPIX. And this chest design here, I find this rather interesting. These printed curved slope pieces, they come on an old LEGO Alpha Team set. And placing them here, I think it just hits different. The stripes on these pieces, they look like the stripes that you might see on a wasp. It feels like the perfect piece to use on this creation. The same can be said for these Gorast wings on the back here. A very good fit. I just really like this revamp. We also have a mock here called Quattros Shaman that Dylan Meaves has made. So this obviously isn't a revamp of WASPIX, but this is a mock that combines the pieces from WASPIX and another Hero Factory set called Rawjaw. And that's a great idea. Instead of buying this set and revamping the character, combine two separate sets together and challenge yourself to only use their pieces. That's just another very fun way to build something awesome. Now, the way Dylan has used the printed pieces that came on WASPIX for this face design, that's very clever. It does kind of look a little bit like a face if you look at it in the right way. Then this bendy curved staff that they're holding, that's brilliant. Dylan did a great job of using these pieces in some very clever ways. Inhuman Builds has a mock here called WASPIX King. Now, this may not actually be related to the Hero Factory set whatsoever, but I do like the idea of a horde of WASPIX that all serve a larger golden king. Now, I guess you'd have more of a queen bee than a king bee, but hey, maybe in the world of Hero Factory, things are a little different, and it's a king that rules the hive. But yeah, a gold and a black color scheme like this, that looks sick. It's still got some bee vibes, but it feels noticeably different. It feels more regal and important. I like that. You're also using these vinyl wing pieces that came on this Ant-Man set. So good, that works perfectly on this mock. Now, this next mock, strictly speaking, it's not a WASPIX revamp, but there's a lot of similar stuff going on, especially because it's a bee that's got a humanoid body, so it might still be able to give you some ideas, so I thought it was worth highlighting. This one is called Vespa, and it was built by Shadowgear 6335. Once again, using some of those beautiful wing pieces from that Ant-Man set. Always love to see those. These limbs are also pretty great, using these claw pieces here to mimic that same kind of furry texture that bees and other bugs often have. And then using some Technic pieces in yellow and black and layering them so they look like stripes that you might see on an actual bee. How good is that? Yeah, this mock is just exceptional. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of inspiration, and hopefully if you have some of those pieces in your collection, you've got some ideas as to how you could use them when you next build something. Now, please check the links in the description below to see more from the builders that I highlighted today. Otherwise, thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.